In this 6-part video series, Future Music Magazine is teaming up with Steinberg to explore creative sampling and instrument creation.
Throughout these episodes, we're going to use Steinberg's powerful synth sampler hybrid instrument, HALion 6, to walk you through the full spectrum of synthesis, sampling, and sound design techniques.
Unlike other samplers, HALion 6 gives you the tools to create new instruments that can be distributed free of charge and used in HALion Sonic SE.
So we'll dig deep into HALion 6 and show you how you can customize your own instrument entirely from scratch, including interface components such as buttons, sliders, that kind of thing. In each video, we'll create our own instrument and then we'll give it to you to download for free. But if you don't own HALion 6, don't worry, because you can use HALion Sonic SE, which is free from the Steinberg website.
Hi, Si and Joe here. This is episode 5 of the Steinberg sampling sessions. In this episode, we're going to be looking into creative voice sampling techniques. I'm going to go and head straight into the vocal booth to cook up some bang-in vocal samples for you. So I'm going to do that right now. Okay, so I'm here in the vocal booth. Joe wants me to get some sort of vocal sounds for him. Ideally, he wants some beatboxing, but I'm not really a beatboxer by any stretch of the imagination. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some clapping and then do some stuff with my mouth. And yes, I'll start doing that now. So Joe, I've come back from the vocal booth. I've brought the fire as I initially promised. So you've got the samples there.
I do. Well, I've got 3 here, 3 recordings that I've sort of shortlisted that I think would work. So here's one of you clapping. Could use that.
Yeah,
I think
cool.
Should be good. Here's one of you making a hi-hat sound.
Amazing.
I like the sort of variation between closed and open hat.
Yeah, I try.
And then we've got this recording. I think at the end there's a kick drum sort of sound. There we go.
That is my finest work, I think you'll find.
Brilliant. There we go. So I think those 3 could sort of make quite a nice instrument, which I've done. I've made this little gizmo here. It's sort of divided into 3, so you've got kick, snare, and hi-hat.
Okay, cool.
And I've used 3 different layers set up here in this program. So we've got the clap, and they've each got their own bus, so they're all being processed separately.
Yeah.
So if I go into the zone area, we can sort of go in and break down what I've done. Up here, if I can switch off all insert effects, so I'll do that just so we can hear the sounds in their raw state. This is the snare sound, the clap. The main way I've sort of messed this up, I've pitched it down an octave, so I'll put that back for now. I've used the audio warp.
Okay, so it's starting to sound more like the original, yeah.
Yeah, and that's about it, basically.
Yeah.
It's just taking the original sound. Had quite a nice sort of snap to it anyway, so, but just this warp just sounds a bit weird, really. Sounds quite cool. And then I'll turn the effects off. If I unfold that, you can see a couple of, got distortion, saturator and reverb.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just sort of bringing things out. And then I've got here, so I've assigned the audio warp and its formant parameters in here. That sounds quite cool.
Okay, yeah, so you've got to go gate and pitching in a way, haven't you?
Yeah, you've got a bit of scope to sort of mess it up, and enough bit rate reduction as well. There you go.
Lovely.
So
that's cool.
You can kind of play around. I mean, whether you'd use it as a sort of a full snare in a track, or you could just an interesting sound, really.
Yeah.
Something a bit different. Okay. And then there's this kick drum sound. Again, your brilliant beatboxing skills.
Thank you.
So you can sort of hear the reverb as well. I'll just mute those effects again.
Yeah.
So that's been pitched down an octave as well. But then there's this pitch envelope. So I've turned that up there, the pitch envelope amount. And then if I go down here, select the pitch envelope. So if I pitch that, that's sort of what we started with.
Yeah.
So I bring it down, sort of getting that downward sort of pitch.
Yeah, yeah.
Pitch motion. And then effects-wise, just an EQ and a reverb. Use the EQ for a bit of a bass boost. So if you look here in the instrument, I've set these up. So I've got mix and size.
Okay, yeah. So you get the gain and frequency, yeah.
Yeah, you can boost that low shelf and then mix in a big reverb if you want. Just bring it down. So there's the two kick and snare sounds. So yeah, this last part is a hi-hat, which I don't think I actually did too much to it, to be honest. I think I just pitched it up a slight amount. But the main thing I've done is I've loaded a flex phaser into this layer.
Yeah.
So it's just an arpeggiator basically. So it's just repeating the notes. And then in my little instrument, I've set it up so you can select the speed. And you've got swinging gate. And again, I've got this audio warp informant set up to stretch the sound.
Nice, yeah. That's cool.
So yeah, it's you get some quite interesting sounds here.
That's cool. And on each of those, you've got separate volume and panning controls.
Up here,
you
yeah.
Just sort of get a nice mix on it as well.
Yeah, you can pan each element. Just kind of a neat. And that's the kind of process of building an instrument. It's quite interesting to sort of use the three-part angle because give each of its own volume and pan.
Yeah.
So yeah,
oh, brilliant.
It's good fun.
So obviously you've used a lot of insert effects and sort of the controls from the sampler to affect the original recordings, but there's also another way you can kind of like mash stuff up, and that's like resampling.
Yeah.
So how would you do the resampling? I know we touched on it on the last episode. Show us quickly how you can quickly do that.
Okay. Well, I'll get a new program open here. So we're back in the sample recorder.
Okay.
Which we can use to record directly back into the sampler, and then you can load it into another program. So what I'm going to do is, actually I'll go in here. So if I set my input in the sample recorder to master, this will record back in whatever HALion's playing, back in again. So if I just hit record, it's recording that in there, as you can see. So I'll stop recording, and it's, as you can see there, it's added this this sample. Now if I drag that over to this new program, I'm going to mute the previous program and set the MIDI channel to the right one. So now if I go to the sample area, sorry, I need to make sure actually in here, if I right click on the sample in the mapping editor, there we go.
So yeah, you've mapped it right across the keyboard.
I have. If I go back in the sampler, if I click this N button, I'll normalise it just to get a bit more level. And then, yeah, so I'll go back in the sample zone. Now you can play it at a completely different pitch. Play it down the keyboard. And you can just keep doing, you can keep processing something and recording it back.
Yeah, you're back. You can, back into the audio warp. Yeah.
So instantly it's become, I don't know what I'd call that, but
yeah, completely unrecognisable.
And then you You could throw something like a delay or something. There we go.
Lovely.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So if we go back then to your previous instrument.
Yep, there we have it.
So this is nearly good to go. Just a few little tweaks, and then we can.
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah, it'll just
save
be
it out.
packaging it up into a HALion Sonic SE instrument. Then you can download the free player, load it up.
Have a go themselves. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So we're pretty much there.
Oh, cool.
So that's it for this video. You can download this instrument from the URL below. And don't worry if you don't own HALion 6, as you can download the free HALion Sonic SE from Steinberg's website. In the 6th and final part of our video series, we'll get geeky and show you how to design a complete instrument interface using HALion 6's Macro Page Designer.